They've toured the world as the musical ambassadors of the Army, but right now they're gearing up for an inaugural engagement.
Fox 5's Holly Morris is with members of the U.S. Army Field Band this morning, and they're kicking off the action from Madame Tussauds in Northwest D.C. Good morning, Holly.
Good morning to you, and we're having a lot of fun here at the museum. Perfect place to be, right? Because this is one of the only places where you can come and visit all the men who have held the top spot. I thought I would start with President Dwight D. Eisenhower here because this is a pretty fun fact here. There's been a lot of talk about how next Monday President Obama is going to actually be sworn in on 2 Bibles, right? He's going to do the Lincoln Bible that he did the last time, and then also Martin Luther King's Bible. Well, President Eisenhower did the same thing in 1953. He was sworn in using 2 Bibles. He used George Washington's 1789 Bible, and then he also used his personal West Point Bible. We also thought it was appropriate, since he was the 5-star general of the Army, for us to talk about the U.S. Army Field Band Brass Quintet. Standing next to him, along with Staff Sergeant Lauren Veroni. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Holly.
And you guys have quite an honor this year with the parade.
We do. We're actually leading the presidential inaugural parade, which is really exciting for us. We get to march out front and really start the celebration off right.
Now, is that something where they kind of rotate that every 4 years? Like, how did your band get chosen?
Well, we have led the inaugural parade for actually 13 different inaugurations.
So it's more of a tradition for you all.
It is something we really look forward to every 4 years.
Okay, so how many times have you played amidst wax figures?
I would say this is probably the first time we've played in a venue like this.
They've done a lot, so leave it to Fox 5 Morning News to give you this wonderful venue. Well, as we kind of walk through the museum here, tell me a little bit about what you guys all do and where you play.
Well, we're the musical ambassadors of the Army, so our job is to represent the stationed all over the world through music. So we perform for a lot of veterans. We play concerts in the smallest venues and the biggest halls all across the country. And the Capitol is really one of our biggest venues. It will be on Monday for that many people.
I mean, obviously you play in a lot of high-profile events. Do you ever get nervous?
Sometimes. It is a little bit creepy, I would say, with all these wax figures around.
Leave it to us, again, to give her the one venue that actually makes her nervous. Well, here they are, all of them, standing together. We thought it would be fun to stand in front of President Kennedy and First Lady Jackie there, in front of Air Force One. Now, have you played in front of Air Force One before?
I would say probably at some point in the field band's history. We played for a few presidents.
It's just in there. Okay, so I'll tell you one more fun little inauguration fact before I hand it over to you to do a little practice for us. When Kennedy was being sworn in 61, okay, the inaugural parade was almost canceled because of a huge snowstorm, and the U.S. Army was called in to actually clear the streets. So be ready, you all. And actually, the former President Hoover actually missed the swearing in because his flight couldn't get in. But then, of course, President Kennedy went on to give one of the most memorable inaugural speeches of all time. How about a little memorable music? Let me hand it on over to the U.S. Army Field Band Brass Quintet. Brass Band, Field Band, I should say, Brass Quintet, for coming out and playing for us this morning. They are the ones leading the way come next Monday for the President's inaugural parade. Coming up in our next hour, we're going to continue to have some more inaugural history fun here at Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. In fact, the President and First Lady Michelle Obama themselves, their figures have been updated. We're going to reveal those in our 8 o'clock hour. Back to you all in the studio.
Oh. sounds fantastic.
I can't wait to see the big reveal. You know,
yeah, the update.
I love it.
Well, you know what part of it's going to be? Grayer hair.
The grayer hair and the more like stylized look of the First Lady.
Yeah. All right.